Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new for today's video. I have my expense tracking for, what is this, the second or third week in July? I don't even know, this month is going by so fast, but we're gonna sit down and figure out everything I spent this week. We're gonna categorize everything here in my budget planner, so if you're interested in that, just keep on watching. In front of me my little happy planner, budget planner, and it's actually just the outside that is from Happy Planner. I have all of my own printable inserts inside here, but I never really show you guys what my planner looks like as a whole. So I have Happy Planner discs that I use to bind all of my printables. These particular ones I think are rose gold. And then this cover came from, actually I believe this came off of one of the Happy Notes notebooks, the 8.5 by 11 size ones. And inside here I have all of my budget printables. All of my printables are of my own creation. They are available in my Etsy shop. So I will link that down below if you're interested. I'm just flipping to my July printables. This is what I call my Anchors Away collection. It's just this fun nautical printed worksheets, and I'm gonna find my expense tracker, a blank expense tracker for the week. I like to use a new expense tracker for each week of the month. That helps me to stay on track. So I've got that here, and the date that we are recording transactions is July 12th through the 18th. So if I flip back here to my calendar, which I actually have not filled out at all this month, we can see here that that is the second Tuesday of the month. So I think technically this is going to be considered week 3 because week 1 was just these few couple of days at the start of the month. Week 2 was that first full week of July. So then the 12th through the 18th I will consider week 3. So week 3 expenses, we had a handful of transactions, not very many, especially when you compare it to how many transactions we had last week with our full vacation week. But we did spend some money, so let's go ahead and see what the damage is. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in, and we're just gonna get started. So the way that I like to track my expenses is, obviously, I just write everything out. I categorize everything. So my categories are food and household, where I track all of our grocery shopping, our eating out, and any household expenses. That also includes things like pet food, a lot of things lumped into that one category. I have bills, so any bills that I pay. I have debt, so any debt that I pay. Gas, miscellaneous, spending, anything unbudgeted could be a category. And then I also, in this video, will flip to my sinking fund transaction log and will fill in anything that I spent from my sinking funds this week. So there's lots to do. I'm going to categorize everything here in this category section, but I'm also going to go in and highlight the various categories. That way, when I sit down to film my budget check-in, where I take kind of everything we spent for the week and plug it into my monthly budget, it's really, really easy for me. So let's see what I spent this week. Hopefully not a lot, because you guys know we did a ton of spending last week. So we actually didn't spend any money on the 12th, except I immediately lied to you. We did have a spending day on the 12th. The 13th was a no spend day, but on the 12th, we did pull out our cash for our spending money. So my husband, myself, and my youngest son all get cash for spending each week. I like to do it in cash because it just helps us to stay on track, and that way I don't have to like chase after my husband for receipts or nag him to death to figure out what he spent so I can put it in the budget. We just decided how much he needs per week. I give it to him in cash at the start of the week, and that's it, and it just makes it really easy. So the transaction I'm just gonna write in as cash. I'm using this fun like gem pen that I got, I think on Amazon. It's just like a ballpoint pen. And I'm using my expense tracker, as I mentioned, from my Anchors Away collection. I just print these right at home. All of my budget printables are just that, they're printables. If you buy from my Etsy shop, you won't get anything like sent to you in the mail. It's just a PDF download. You can download it and then print it as many times as you want. I have these available individually as well as in bundles, so there's lots of different options. And I do have a coupon code for my Etsy shop, which is YTFriend, that'll take 15% off your order. So if you've ever been interested in trying out my budget printables, there's a little tip for you. Alright, so cash. The category then will be spending, because this is our spending money. And the amount that I pulled out was $100. That's $60 for my husband, $20 for myself, $20 for Austin. That's what we kind of sat down and decided together. We all needed/wanted, so that's what we do. Okay. Then on the 12th, I took Austin for a haircut. And I didn't put this into my kind of monthly budget as its own line item. And we also kind of did away with our haircut sinking fund quite a while ago. So I'm just going to classify this as a miscellaneous expense. So the category will be miscellaneous, and the amount was about $30 with tip. So he desperately needed a haircut. If you've ever seen Austin, you know he's got so much thick, beautiful curly hair. Okay, so that was it on the 12th. As I said, we did have a no spend day on the 13th, so that was good. Then on the 14th, we did do some grocery shopping. I tried to keep what we spent to a minimum this week, but you will see a little bit later on in the week we did have some eating out because my kitchen has been completely torn apart for the last few days with my husband having to replace our water heater, which is an added credit card expense this month, unfortunately, and he also is working on fixing our floor in our kitchen, so that has thrown a bit of a monkey wrench into our budget, but we're still trying to stick to it. We'll have to kind of see as we go throughout the month how that works out. But at this point in the week, we were still trying to keep things real low and minimal since we'd used so much of our grocery and household budget in those first couple of weeks of the month. So for Walmart, as I mentioned, all of that goes in a category that I like to call food and household. And the amount we spent was $57.19. So, not too shabby. And then my husband went to Marathon on the 15th and bought a bunch of ice cream because it was just that kind of night. He was craving it, so he ran to our little local corner gas station and spent $18.46 on ice cream. So that's food and household. Alright. Then we had some bills come out. So on the 15th as well, we had YouTube Premium come out of our account, so that we classify as bills. And the amount there was $17.99. I love my YouTube Premium membership. I wish I had done it sooner, if I'm being honest. And then we had a no spend day on the 16th, which was great. On the 17th, we had some more bills come out. So we had my Planet Fitness membership, which is also classified as a bill. And that amount was $10. I just have like the basic Planet Fitness membership, $10 a month, no annual fee, nothing extra, just straight $10. On the 18th, I had my Subaru payment to make, so that I classify as debt because that is something that one day, hopefully, we will pay off. It will be out of our budget. We won't have to worry about it anymore. And the amount that I paid to that was $650. Also, on the 18th, we went to Tim Hortons. Did I miss a transaction? Oh my gosh, I did, you guys. That's okay. I'm going to put it in at the 18th. It was the 17th. That was that big eating out that we had. So we went to McDonald's. You guys remember when McDonald's used to be cheap? It's not cheap anymore. For my family of 4, granted it's not like we were like eating off the value menu or anything, it cost us $54 for McDonald's. $54.82 to be exact. I about choked when I got that price back. So that was dinner for us for that evening. Like I said, that was actually on the 17th. I managed to skip that somehow. Back to the 18th. We, as I mentioned, went to Tim Hortons to get some coffee after we dropped off my son to soccer. It seems silly to us to take Austin to soccer, drop him off, and then go home for an hour and then turn around and go right back to pick him up. So we usually try to just run around, do some errands, or kill some time in town while he has his practice, and then we swing back by and pick him up before we head home. So one of the things we did was grab a coffee at Tim Hortons. So that's, once again, food and household. That was $3.98 for my husband and I to have coffee. Then we went and got a car wash. And I'm actually going to take this car wash money out of our gas fund. I could pull it out of our car maintenance sinking fund, and I have in the past. This time I just decided to pull it out of our gas fund because, I don't know, no real reason, just cause. That was $14. And then we also filled up our gas tank. So this was at the Murphy station, which is the gas station connected to Walmart. We have a Walmart Plus membership, and so we get, I think it's like 10 cents off a gallon at Murphy. So that's really great, especially considering the price of gas these days. And it took $56 to fill my tank this day. Alright, and if I'm not mistaken, that's everything. So, like I said, not a ton of transactions this week. Let's really quickly go in and color code everything. I like to use highlighters for this. And let's just see what I want to do here. I think last week I used the Sharpie S notes. So let's go ahead and do that again. So we're going to need spending, which I'll do in this purple color. We're going to need miscellaneous, which is typically green. Where are my S notes? I don't even know where anything is, you guys. Actually, I've got all of these highlighters here we can use. I just need a green. So let's see if I can find a green. That's usually the color I do for miscellaneous. Okay, no green. We could do this one. We'll just kind of fly by the seat of our pants and do that one. This is a Pilot Friction highlighter. Then we need food and household, which is typically gold or yellow. I am really needing to go through and organize all of my stuff. I've got stuff absolutely everywhere, so we'll use the S note for yellow. Bills is always blue, so we'll use an S note there as well. Debt I like to do in either a dark pink or a red, so we'll use this guy here. And then gas is usually pink, so I'll use my mild liner. So we just got like a bunch of random colors and highlighters this time. So what I like to do is just go down the line, highlight the various categories in their corresponding colors, and add things up. So I'm going to pull up the calculator on my phone in order to do that. And we'll kind of see what the damage was this week. So calculator I have here, and we're just going to start with spending, which of course is just $100. That's always the case. If I remember correctly, this marker is pretty dark. Yeah, it is, but we're going to make it work. So the reason that I go through the trouble of doing this is, like I said, it just makes it easier later to make sure that everything's accounted for and accurate. So spending is $100. All right, then miscellaneous, I said was green. This is sort of a greeny blue color, so we're gonna go with that. And that was miscellaneous for $30. Then we have food and household. So here's where I'll pull my calculator in. So we have $57.19 plus $18.46 plus $54.82 plus $3.98, which is a grand total of $134.45, which is not too shabby. So for food and household then, $134.45. All right, next up we will do bills, which as I mentioned is in this blue color. So we have $17.99 plus 10. Is that it? Yep, so that's $27.99. I didn't really need my calculator for that, but that's okay. For bills. And then we have debt, which we paid $650 to our Subaru. Last but not least, then we have gas. 56 plus 14 is 70. So now everything is highlighted and everything is accounted for. That's why I go through the trouble. And then really quickly we'll just add up and see how much we spent total. So 100 plus 30 plus 134.45. I don't know if you guys can see my calculator or not. Hopefully you can. $27.99, $650, and $70. So we spent a grand total then this week from our main budget, $1,012.35. So that's from our monthly budget. That's how much we spent. Not terrible. All right, we did though have some sinking fund transactions, just 2, so this should go pretty darn quick. So we had on the 16th from the school sinking fund, we had soccer spirit wear. So we always take anything for sports, after school activities, that sort of thing, as well as any clothes that Austin needs for school or anything like that comes out of our school sinking fund. The amount that we spent was $101. So that was spirit wear. We got a couple of hats. Austin got a hooded sweatshirt. I got a t-shirt. So we are all set to support our soccer team this season. We always like to buy new spirit wear every year just to support the team. Part of that is like a fundraising effort and just so we have some new stuff. So that was the 16th, and then on the 18th from our subscriptions sinking fund. We had to renew our Disney Plus membership. We do that by the year. So typically the way we do things is any subscriptions that we pay for monthly comes out of our monthly budget, and anything we pay annually comes out of our sinking fund. It's just the way we've decided to do it. There's no wrong way to do it, you guys, but that's what we've done. So that was $79.99 for Disney Plus. All right, so that's everything that we spent this week. We also, as I mentioned, did have a pretty big transaction that was a new water heater, but that I will write in whenever we do our debt update at the end of the month. So you won't see that here, but that is something that happened this month, or this week rather. So yeah, you'll see that big expense kind of at the end of the month. So that is it then for my expense tracking for the third week in July. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Till we get back together again, I hope you take really good care, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!